What up, YouTube? R to the double. Y'all in trouble. Coming at you once again. We're doing a reaction and thoughts on Sony's State of Play yesterday. In the morning we had Nintendo Direct. In the evening we had State of Play. And in the middle we had Xbox trying to piggyback off of Nintendo's announcements. Yep, we got GoldenEye too. just no online play. So I'm just fucking with you. You know I love Xbox. But anyways, State of Play, man. Started off with a really, really beautiful Tekken 8 footage. Now it was rendered in engine. It was an in-engine cinematic, but it does look like right at the beginning of it, it goes into what the gameplay would be because it's a fighting game. So they're talking shit to each other. Fucking graphics look beautiful, and then the camera kind of like pans down to where their side, facing off, and they start fighting, and it's a side view like it would be during the game. They just didn't have health bars basically, and it looked epic, man. It looked epic. I've never been a Tekken fan, nor will I be. I don't like the art style that Tekken usually employs, and even the new Street Fighters. I don't like that art style where everybody's like super jacked and super roided, and there's muscles on top of muscles and all that. And I never liked from Tekken the electricity and the sparks and all that when you're hitting each other. It's like y'all motherfuckers ain't raiding. Why is this happening? But it did look amazing. It's something I would definitely play it and check it out and see if I can get in it or into it. There was no date given for the release of that game. It does look beautiful. It was a lengthy trailer, multiple camera angles. Like I said, just clean trailer. And to do my research, I kind of like every game that came out here. I kind of like looked up to see, is it multiplayer or is it exclusive? Because they wouldn't really say. And of course, they're only going to show the PlayStation logo. They're not going to show a Nintendo logo or Xbox logo. They're trying to hype themselves up, which is understandable. So I looked it up, and Tekken is going to be cross-platform, so that's a multiplayer. Then they showed off, and there was no date given. There's a couple of things in here with no dates given. But anyways, then we had 2 games that were shown off that are in development for PlayStation VR 2. Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge and Demio. Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge looked good. I mean, it didn't blow me away graphically, but it was nice. It was clean, very vibrant, and I could just imagine that, first person in VR. I mean, that's got to be awesome. And I will give them credit because from the 3 of them, it seems like Sony is the one who's actually driving forth the development and the progression of VR. If we ever want to get to a place where VR becomes like the main thing, where you're actually in the game and there's actual full-fledged games, as I've said before, not little VR experiences, but actual long games of VR, they're the ones that seem to be spearheading that. So I got to give them their props on that. Microsoft, as far as we know, isn't interested at all. And Nintendo, please. And then that labo should get the fuck out of here. So that game, it looked decent. It was first person, you use a blaster and you're shooting at different enemies in different scenarios and all that. But it looked like a game. So that's what I took away from it. Like, okay, there's progress here. It may not be, it's probably not more than a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours. But we're starting to head in that direction, and that's always a good thing. Demio is basically a tabletop card game, and they made a VR version out of it where you play your cards, you see your deck, and you play your cards, and then the actual creatures come out and fight. Cool. Not a card game, dude. So whatever. None of those. Neither one of those games have a release date. Then we had a game that I thought was awesome. I thought this game looked phenomenal, and I was like, okay, that's awesome. If that's an exclusive, which I couldn't determine, I don't think it is though, from what I gathered, but I'm not sure. Like a Dragon Ishin, coming out February 20th of 2023. Awesome, bro. It's like a samurai game. Kind of has like the Yakuza art style, and the look, the combat reminds me a lot of the Yakuza games. But it's kind of like Red Steel, because you're a samurai with a sword, but you also have a gun. I think it's a 6-shooter, as a matter of fact, and you're comboing with both of them, but it's in third person as opposed to first person. Nothing but praise for that. I was just like, that's dope. That's dope. So that was cool. That's coming, like I said, February 20th, 2023. Then we had a trailer for Hogwarts Legacy on the PlayStation 5. We know this game is multi-plat, PC, PlayStation, Xbox. I gotta be honest. I mean, I've never been a Harry Potter fan. I really can't stand those movies. Like, not for any particular reason. They just never got me. And the hype behind them and the books, I never understood. But, I know there's a lot of fans out there. I know it's like a mini Star Wars, basically, as far as the fan community. So, but I will say this, the game does not look that good to me, bro. Like, graphically. It doesn't look as polished and as clean as it should be. I mean, it's got a release date. When was it? February 10th of next year. That's only that's 5 months away. it doesn't look that polished. It looks kind of like, honestly, I'm not trying to hate, bro. Like to me, it looks like a mid to late, not even. It looks like a mid-generation PlayStation 4, Xbox One game. Not bad. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look horrible or ugly. It's just that by the standards of PlayStation 5 and Series X and all this new technology and these new consoles, it doesn't look like a current gen game. It looks like a last gen game. But they showed that off, a nice lengthy trailer, and then they made it a point, after they cried so much about Microsoft potentially taking Call of Duty away from them, how that's going to determine gamers' choice for consoles, and that's not fair. Well, here they paid to have exclusive content in this game, Haunted Hogsmeade Shop, an exclusive PlayStation Quest that includes an additional dungeon, and the Shopkeeper cosmetic set, and an in-game Hogsmeade Shop. So it's very hypocritical to cry about that and then, engage in these practices, but PlayStation has always engaged in these practices. They used to have, specific exclusive content they paid for in Call of Duty games, and and then Microsoft did it back. This is the way you war. This is the way you try to one up each other. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with either one, but it's just funny that PlayStation was crying about that, and then here they are doing it. But either way, like I said, the game comes out in February of next year, February 10th, and this is an exclusive PlayStation content, so that might give them the advantage in that game. Then we had a very interesting game that I thought looked really cool. Pacific Drive. No specific date, just 2023. This game looked like it's first person, right? And you have this like tricked out, it's like an old school car, kind of like a station wagon almost, but on the inside it's got a bunch of like high-tech gear. It's like all tricked out. And you get this transmission that tells you it's about to happen in your location. So you get in the car and you start hauling ass, and then, bro, the ground starts shifting and creatures come out of the sky, and you're basically trying to get out of there, and it's like the world itself is trying to stop you from escaping. And then at the end of the trailer, you end up crashing, rolling over. There's red lightning and all this, and then all of a sudden you just see this faraway vista, like this landscape, like the hills and the forest in the background, and then this like big beam coming down from the sky. And you just hear one of the characters say another one. Oh, this hasn't happened since such and such time. And it's a Pacific Drive. And I was like, that's fucking interesting. And art style was beautiful. The game ran smoothly from the trailer as far as I don't know if that. I don't think that was really gameplay. I think that was more of a cinematic trailer. But I'm sorry about that. That was a phone call. I think that was more of a cinematic trailer, but it piqued my interest. I was like, that's something I would play. That's something that if I had a PlayStation, I would grab. Hopefully that comes out on Series X also, because I'll grab it there. But either way, awesome. Then we had information on PlayStation Stars. It's their loyalty membership service for their players. And it really all they just talked about was digital collectibles. I can't hate on this because Nintendo does this with the My Nintendo shit, and Xbox, with their perks and their rewards. Digital collectibles, cool. All right, cool. It might be a PlayStation 3. It might be a character from a game. It's just a digital collectible that you can show off on your system, in your home screen or whatever. Show to your online friends can go and see the collectibles you have and vice versa. That's cool, whatever. And they said that's going to be rolling out in certain regions of Asia in late September and in the weeks to follow in the Americas. So be on the lookout for that, PlayStation owners. Then we had another cool game that was shown, 2023 again, no specific date. Sin Duality. This game, it looked like an action RPG, but more on the action side, but with mechs. Like you had your character, and your character could be out of the mech, but you used this mech a lot for fighting and combat against monsters and other enemies and all that. It kind of had like a Xenoblade Chronicles X vibe to it, like you and your skill. Beautiful art style, amazing music, action to the brim. I was like, okay, this is another. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you know me, I keep it real, dude. I don't hate on any one of the companies. I don't like Sony anywhere near as much as I like the other two, but they were bringing some heat here. I was like, okay, this is cool shit. Again, I don't know if this is a console exclusive. Yeah, I don't. There was no mention of it. So but that's a really cool. That was a really cool trailer. So I was like, all right. Again, a lot of these trailers have a lot of cinematics on it, but this one did show what looked to be gameplay. So I was like, okay, if this is what the game is gonna play like, sign me up. That's a stunner right there. Then we had another game. Now these next two games were console exclusives for PlayStation. They mentioned that in the state of play. The first one is probably my favorite game of the entire show. Stellar Blade, coming out in 2023. Bro, the art style in this game, the graphics, And again, the music, very high production value. Awesome. It looked like another action RPG, but the combat in it was very Bayonetta like. And it was just frantic, fast paced, fighting like colossal enemies that you think your character shouldn't have a chance against. And the dodging and the move, just like Bayonetta, like the witch time and stuff like that, just not in slow motion, but the same kind of feel. I was like, yo, this is that's a hell of an exclusive. That I know that game right there from that trailer is going to be amazing. So that was great. And then the second one was another fucking exclusive that I was like, again, I'm gonna tell you, I give props when props is due. Microsoft needs to do more of this as far as exclusives. Like you're only on Xbox games. You need to have more of them, bro. And they need to have this kind of attention to detail and this kind of production quality. The Rise of the Ronin, another fucking like Japanese style samurai type of game in feudal Japan. Excuse me. Had some Assassin's Creed type elements in there, like when he jumped off the building and opened up the glider and was gliding. You see how vast and open the world is. The combat reminds me kind of Ghost of Tsushima. Very, very like, bro, very parry and blocking, but just the impact of every move, the graphical style, the vividness and the clearness of the surroundings. Beautiful, beautiful game. But that one's not coming till 2024. So damn, but yeah, straight up, that's another banger of an exclusive. So good on them. And then they closed out the show. Their show was a lot smaller than Nintendo's. Nintendo be coming with fire, dude. Like, Sony comes with what they got. So God of War Ragnarok. You think this is gonna be God of War, and then all of a sudden it's just a fucking commercial for limited edition God of War Ragnarok DualSense controller. I'm not hating on that. Every company does. Nintendo with the Splatoon controllers, the Smash Brother controllers, Xbox with the Halo ones. It's fine. And thank God they did not. But they made it seem like they were going to finish on this. I'm like, you cannot finish on a fucking controller when Nintendo finished on the fucking Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. They didn't. Then they went into an actual story trailer that showed a lot of gameplay, too, of God of War Ragnarok. Now, you guys know me. Not a God of War fan. I couldn't care less for that franchise if I actively tried to. Now, I don't say that in an insulting or demeaning way. I just say that as a matter of fact. I really don't care. I played the first three. I enjoyed them well enough. I didn't think they were anything revolutionary or out of this world. But I know I'm in the minority there, and that's fine. I'm just saying, I don't care for the franchise. This didn't make me want to go and buy the game. But I will give props when props is due. When I watched this trailer, I was like, look at the fucking production value, bro. Look you could tell this is their big gun for this year, or maybe even for the console's life. They're going all in with this. The production is amazing. The animation is ridiculous. The music, the cinematics that they showed, kind of delving into the story a bit, giving you a little bit, kind of what I wanted from the Tears of the Kingdom trailer that Nintendo showed that they didn't give us. And then the gameplay. You saw certain parts of combat that were obviously gameplay. Awesome. And it looks seamless from gameplay to cinematic, as most of these games usually do, like the Uncharted games, the God of War games, all the Last of Us games. They go from cinematic to gameplay seamlessly. It's the same engine. So it looked awesome. The trailer, I'm not going to front. I don't care for the game. I am not like, oh my God, now I need to get a PS5 to get this game. I don't care for God of War. But I'd be lying to you if I said it, that shit wasn't bad as fuck. And I know that PlayStation fans and God of War fans in specific are going to fucking have a blast with this game. So, awesome way to close the show. Overall, the state of play, like I said, it's the same reaction I had to Nintendo's show. It wasn't bad. And it wasn't great. It had its great moments here and there, a couple of them. But overall, everything was just like, all right, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I don't really care about that. Yeah, that's cool. And then boom at the end. That's what Nintendo did. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it was dope. It was entertaining. And I normally don't really watch state of plays. I did it for the channel since I'm trying to, be informative and give you guys my honest take and grow this channel. It was a good show. It wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. It just wasn't like, oh, knock your socks off, freaking, oh my God, run out now and trample over other people to try to find the PlayStation 5. Nah, not really. If you have one already, awesome. This is you need God of War. I mean, it looks amazing. But yeah, man, it was cool, man. I enjoyed it. Like I said, a couple of games in there that I definitely would play and want to play. Like a Dragon Ishin, for sure. Pacific Drive, for sure. Sin Duality, yeah, that looked really cool. Stellar Blade, for sure. Rise of the Ronin, for sure. And God of War, I would play. You know, I wouldn't go out of my way to seek it, but the games I mentioned before that, yeah. And let's look at the average. I mean, that shows that it was a good show to some extent because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games. And out of those 11 games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those 11 games, I'm like, yeah, I want to play that. It's almost half. So that was a good show. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, not crazy good, but it was good. It delivered the point, and it showed you that they're on a mission. They're coming with the exclusives. They're keeping that train rolling. And hey, sky's the limit, man. So we'll see, bro. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. That's really my thoughts on it. It's a much shorter video because it was a much shorter show. But yeah, man, Nintendo did their thing yesterday. PlayStation did their thing. Now we got to see what Microsoft does, man. Like I said, that my last video is a lot of games for them that are in development that are in some serious trouble. So they need to get on the ball on that, man. Fix that shit in a hurry. Anyway, man, God bless y'all. Stay gaming. I hope you've enjoyed. Peace. It's the R to the double E.